Hello and welcome to Pocket Wellbeing Friend, the podcast that fits in your pocket and walks beside you through the mess, the magic and the everyday moments of life. I'm Dan, and today we've reached the final episode of Series 1 and we're talking about a topic so many people talk about, but few of us truly understand in depth: gratitude. Now, you've probably heard it before. Be grateful. Write 3 things that you're thankful for, and gratitude changes everything. But let's be honest. When life feels heavy, and when your mental health is struggling, and when your brain feels foggy or restless, those words can sound hollow. So, in this episode, we're going to look at gratitude through a different lens. What does science really say about its impact on mental health? Why is it so hard to feel grateful when you're low or overwhelmed? And how can gratitude become a genuine, supportive practice and not a toxic positivity trap? But for now, take a breath, feel the ground under your feet, and if you can, just notice one small thing in this moment that feels okay. That's where gratitude begins. Not in the spectacular, but in the small. Let's begin. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good concept. It's a neurological event. When you express or even reflect on gratitude, your brain activates regions linked to dopamine and serotonin. They are the same pathways that influence your mood, your motivation, and your sense of well-being. But that's not all. And prepare for some hard science for a second here. Research using MRI scans shows that gratitude practice can reduce activity in the amygdala. That's the brain's fear and stress centre. It increases grey matter volume in regions linked to emotional regulation, and it strengthens connections in the prefrontal cortex, which helps with decision making and perspective. The translation? Well, gratitude isn't just thinking happy thoughts. It changes your brain's stress response. It literally helps you feel safer. Now, there are mental health benefits to gratitude too, because consistent gratitude practice has been linked to lower symptoms of depression and anxiety, improved sleep quality, greater resilience under stress, and increased feelings of connectedness and hope. And here's the part I love the most. Gratitude is completely free. It's accessible too. And it doesn't require perfect conditions. Even in hard times, even when life is messy, there's often one small thing, like a warm cup of tea, just one moment of light that can become an anchor. So what gratitude does is shift your attention, not to deny the hard stuff, but to notice what is also true. The brain tends to scan for threats. It's that negativity bias that we've mentioned before. But gratitude says, hey, look here too. There's good stuff here, alongside the hard stuff. And that balance changes everything. Let's do a quick reflection pause. Take one slow breath and notice. What in this exact moment is okay? What tiny detail could you thank? It might feel small, but that's the point. Small things stack up. Now, here's something important to remember. If gratitude feels difficult right now, you're not broken. You're human. When life feels like it's heavy, gratitude can feel like pressure, like another thing you're failing at. Or worse, it can feel like someone telling you to just look on the bright side while you're hurting. That is toxic positivity. That's not gratitude. Real gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It makes space for both. This is hard, and there is still something I can hold on to. But why does it feel hard? Well, survival mode. When your nervous system is in fight or flight, your brain prioritizes danger signals over positives. For example, if you hear a loud noise, your brain immediately focuses on identifying the source of that noise rather than appreciating the beautiful day outside. Depression's lens is your low mood narrowing its attention. Gratitude can feel way out of reach. And perfection pressure often leads you to believe that you must be entirely free of negative emotions to feel grateful. And that unrealistic expectation can make it really difficult to appreciate positive aspects of life. So, how can we make it easier? Well, we can lower the bar. You don't need 3 things. Start with one small thing, like the texture of your blanket or the sound of your breath. You can remember to feel. Don't force it. If it feels fake, pause. Ask yourself, what feels even slightly okay right now? And pair it with presence. Gratitude lands best when you slow down. So take 10 extra seconds to really notice what you're naming. Gratitude is not a performance, it's permission. So, let's look at some ways, backed by science, to practice gratitude that actually might help. Because gratitude isn't a one-size-fits-all, and you don't need a Pinterest perfect journal to do it. Here are 3 research-backed approaches. There's the 3 good things practice, which is each night write down 3 things that went well and why they happened. The why trains your brain to see patterns of support. It's not just look why they happened. What about gratitude letters? Pick someone you appreciate, write them a letter explaining what they meant to you. You don't have to send them. And the bonus to this is reading out loud, even just to yourself. It amplifies the effect of gratitude. And the 3rd approach, micro moments. When something good happens, a smile, a sip of coffee, pause for that 10 extra seconds. Let the brain soak in the experience. The simple stretch increases neutral imprinting of positive moments. Now, these work because they're repeatable. They're simple and they anchor gratitude in real life. They're not just a wild idea, but as a lived experience. But how do you have gratitude in all the mess and the magic? Well, you can hold both good and hard at once. This part is crucial. Gratitude is not about denying pain. It's about expanding awareness. You can be heartbroken and grateful for the friend who checks in. You can be exhausted and grateful for 5 minutes of quiet. And you can feel anxious and grateful for a steady breath. Gratitude doesn't erase struggle. It coexists with it. If you ever hear yourself thinking, I should be more grateful, other people have it worse, then stop. That's shame disguised as gratitude, and shame doesn't heal. Instead, try thinking, this is hard, and I can still notice something good. Now, when days are hard and you really need a focus, try this mini reflection. Name one person you'd miss if they weren't here. Notice one thing in your body that's still working. Your heartbeat, your breath, even your sight. And let that be enough. It sounds silly, I know, but small steps count, and they change the tone of your inner world. Gratitude sticks when it's simple, specific, and consistent. Simple, no elaborate setups. It's specific. I'm grateful for the way the sunlight hits my face. It's not just I'm grateful for the weather. And it's consistent. It's repeated enough to rewire your brain. Making it a habit is the key. There is a thing called the habit loop, which is cue, gratitude, and reward. Very, very psychological. For example, cue, morning coffee. Action, name one thing you're thankful for before you first sip that coffee. Reward, a softer mental start to the day. Now, this is something you can put with existing habits, like after brushing your teeth, think of one good moment from yesterday. Or before opening your emails when you get to work, send one message of thanks. Gratitude grows with repetition, not perfection. And the more you practice, the more your brain notices the ordinary miracles hiding in plain sight. So, here we are, the end of episode 10 and the close of series 1. If you take one thing with you, let it be this. Gratitude isn't about ignoring pain. It's about widening the lens. It changes your brain. It softens the stress, and it helps you find something steady when the world feels uncertain. And I'm grateful for you, for showing up, for listening, and for giving yourself this time. Over the last 10 weeks, I have really enjoyed spending these pocket moments with you, and I hope you've enjoyed them too. I will be back with the next series soon, but I look forward to hearing from you on the weeknight wellbeing check-ins on TikTok. Just search Pocket Wellbeing Friend. Until then, revisit these episodes whenever you need a pocket-sized companion, and maybe start a tiny gratitude ritual just for you. So, take a breath with me, drop your shoulders, let one thing you're glad for rise to the surface and hold it there for a moment. Take care and remember, you're doing better than you think.